Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel, guys. And so that's right, we're going to be doing a 2022 NFL mock draft in terms of for the New Orleans Saints here. And so obviously we just saw that big trade go down between the Eagles and the Saints. And so this is very altering, in terms of just what it means for both franchise. For the Saints, it means the time is now. Obviously, we know Sean Payton, he's retired here. They're going to end up running it back with Jameis Winston at quarterback, but is now the time to actually go after a quarterback of the future? And if so, which of these quarterbacks do they go after? Or will they use both of these first-round picks here to perhaps shore up the offensive line? I'm pretty sure receivers got to be one of those picks there, and there's a lot of receivers to choose from, but which ones are going to be on the board when it comes time for the Saints to pick? We're going to find that all out here. So I'm going to do a 7-round mock draft for the New Orleans Saints and see how this plays out, guys. And so definitely going to be looking to have fun with this. So let me know what you guys think in terms of which picks I should have made, which ones you guys would have made, and also which ones I got right. Definitely looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say about this. And hey, let's get this thing started. All right, so right off the bat here, let's see how this goes. Obviously, the Saints, just to recap, they've got their 2 first-round picks here. So this is after the trade with the Eagles there. They've got their 2nd-round pick, 3rd-round pick, 4th-round pick, 5th and 6th-round pick as well. And so let's go ahead and get it started. The team needs that they have here, obviously, wide receiver is a big need there. You've got tackle as well, quarterback. They've got guard listed here. So certainly offensive line is going to be something to look out for, obviously, in this one. And we'll see how things play out, guys, in terms of who's going to be on the board. But let's get this party started. All right, so you're just looking at to see if Malik Willis will still be on that board by the time we pick. And so it's funny that they give us a trade proposal, guys, and I'm not going to accept either of these here because the Saints made this trade right here, so it would make sense for me to make a trade and just get out of it like that. But look at the compensation that we would get in return for doing this. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that the Eagles had already made a trade with these Saints before, I would go ahead and accept this right here. But obviously, the Saints traded up for a reason, so I will honor that in this mock draft here, and I will decline these trades. But these are some pretty interesting trade offers there. All right, so we're on the clock right now. And so we've got some interesting routes that we can take right now. So I'll tell you what my thought process is right now. I'm thinking that, obviously, looking at the board right now, Malik Willis in there at quarterback, that's an option that I'm strongly considering going. I mean, sure, Jameis Winston's going to be quarterback next year, but Malik Willis could be the quarterback of the future. So hear me out. Malik Willis, he could be the quarterback of the future. There's a lot of potential around this guy right here. You put him in the system with the Saints. He's not going to play year one, but you build around him because obviously, you're not going to have that first-round pick for next year. So therefore, if, unless you want Jameis there for sure 2 more seasons or something like that, do we take Malik Willis right now? That is the question there. And so just looking at how this board has played out there, let's see. I mean, another route we can take is Drake London. I do like taking Drake London there, and that may be the route that I ultimately end up going. I mean, if it wasn't for his season ending with a broken ankle, I mean, my goodness, you wouldn't have known it if you looked at his stats. He's about 6'5", 210 pounds. He's not 21 yet. Not 21 yet. Almost 21 though. And I mean, hey, he had 88 catches for 1,084 yards and 7 touchdowns in the span over the 8 games before he got injured. So that just goes to show the kind of playmaker that he is. So that's certainly someone that we do want. Now, Chris Olave, that's another guy I'm pretty fond of as well. But you give me between Drake London and Chris Olave for this team right here, I probably would go Drake London in this route. I feel like him and Jameis Winston. Think of Drake London, in my opinion, just going off the pure size and stuff like that. You think of someone like, what Mike Evans means for Tampa Bay and stuff like that. So that may be the route that I end up going right there. But let me just do my due diligence real quick and see who's on the board here at tackle. So, all right, guys. So based upon who's on the board right now at tackle, don't grill me too hard for this one, guys, but I'm not taking any of these guys that's currently right now on the board with this pick at tackle. I was going to make a pick at the tackle position there, but looking at how the board played out, I think that right now I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Can I see who's picking after me? Because I will be back up again at 19. I know the Eagles have 18. 17 is, let me see. Let me just take one quick look here. But I'm thinking that I'm going to probably go ahead and go receiver. And then because of the fact that there's no offensive tackle on the board right now that I want, that makes this decision a lot easier for me to go ahead and go after to get Malik Willis perhaps as well. And so I'm just going to look and see who's going to be picking at behind me. I don't think anybody should be taking Malik Willis before then, but let me just see the draft order real quick, because I don't remember off the top of my head. All right, so 17. All right, so yeah, the Chargers sure as heck is not going to be taking a quarterback. And the Eagles at 18, I doubt they'll go Malik Willis there, but I mean, they could be looking at a receiver. So I'm going to take the receiver that I want, and I'm going to take Drake London, guys. So Drake London, USC, he's going to be a Saint, guys, in this mock draft here. And so here I go again. I mean, it'd be very nice. I mean, should I probably double dip here at receiver, guys? Would that be crazy if I went ahead and took Chris Olave or Jameson Williams? I already went and got a tall guy. So if I got someone like Chris Olave, that would really be an interesting pick, guys. Like, do I just go ahead and get quarterback, though? Man, I'm really thinking about double dipping, guys, when it comes to this position right here, guys. And so obviously receiver was a need. We went and got one receiver, but if we come away with two receivers in this draft and they turn out to be something, wow, guys. I'm telling you guys, this is wow. I'm really thinking about this, guys. But you know what? Malik Willis, I know a lot of people believe in Malik Willis. Now, me, I'm a little skeptical of Malik Willis. I am skeptical of Malik Willis. We still got Matt Carroll. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to take Matt Carroll or Sam Howell in this situation here. But I'm thinking that maybe in round 2, I might can get Desmond Ryder. I do like him out of Cincinnati. So I might can get him in round 2, possibly even 3. But I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and take Malik Willis here at quarterback, guys. And again, don't grill me too hard here. If an offensive tackle was on the board, I would have went offensive tackle if there was one that was worth taking at that spot there, guys. But I believe the guy I was aiming for was selected 15th, so right before me. So there you go, guys. That is the recap there of the first round. I went wide receiver Drake London there. Got a big play receiver that would match up well with Jameis Winston. You know he's going to want to go deep, throw those jump balls, 50-50 balls. Drake's going to be a guy that's going to be able to capitalize off of that. He did that in a tremendous time there. Malik Willis, you know, he comes in with a lot of potential, but he's very raw right now. So he's going to be someone that's going to have to wait for a year. But this is one of the best landing spots I have for Malik Willis here, or either the Steelers, one of those two organizations is where I'm hoping that Malik Willis ends up at. I feel like if he goes to Houston, he may not be able to have the success that he could probably have here, but these are the two teams I give Malik Willis the best chance of having success with. And so, yeah, but those are our first round pick, guys. So let's go ahead and see how the rest of the board is going to play out here. Because, again, that's going to dictate everything, just how this board plays out. All right, so we went quarterback. We went wide receiver. It'd be nice if we could get an offensive tackle here, though. It would be real nice if we can get an offensive tackle. All right, looking at these trade offers that they're giving, no, they just want me to give this away. No. All right, so I'm on the clock, guys. I'm on the clock. And so let's see, based upon how the board is set up right now, looking at the board, I don't want to, I'll go ahead and narrow this down. All right, so my dilemma is right now, guys, is when you're looking at the offensive tackles right now, Tyler Smith, I don't necessarily want to reach for a guy. We're certainly not going guard right now. Certainly not going guard, guys. So, yeah. So, and I know that that's a need right there that we did have to get on the offensive line right there. But it's just how the board played out, honestly, for this mock draft, guys. And so let's see. Based upon this, I mean, should I go? I mean, I feel like if I went ahead and got Christian Harris at this spot, or maybe I should just go ahead and go D-line. I should go D-line. I mean, Devontae Wright, I mean, that would be a tremendous choice to go right there out of Georgia. I think I'm going to take that route right there. According to Pro Football Focus, they have him ranked as the 17th ranked overall prospect here. So you'll be getting a guy that come in here, Obviously we know what the Saints in that defense line getting after Tom Brady. The more guys you have, the better. And not just that, the running backs that they have in the backfield. So you get a guy like Devontae Watt here in the second round. That's going to be a good pick right there, considering the fact that we really don't have an offensive lineman that's worth pursuing at this point. So we'll go defensive line right here. So again, I know offensive tackle is the move. We should have went earlier, but it was just too early, guys. I mean, you look at this, they are really stretching right now at the offensive tackle positions, guys. Like, they are just taking these guys off the board. All right, so yeah, we went D-line there in the second round, so we got the third round coming up. Really feeling that urgency, guys, in terms of just getting an offensive lineman, guys. But I'm not gonna reach, though. I'm not gonna reach too deep. It's looking like we may end up having to take an edge our linebackers, what it's looking like in this round. We very well could end up going tight end as well. Never mind, take that off the board. All right, so we're still there. Channing Tindall. We've got some good linebackers on the board still right now. All right, let's see. These are some interesting picks right here, especially what the Rams are offering right there. That is what I'm looking at. 2, 6, a 5th, and a 4th round pick in exchange for my 3rd round pick. And just looking how things are right now, if I did that, I could, but let's see. I don't really want to move back either. I don't want to move back, but if I can stock up on some more draft pick guys, I think I'll go ahead and do this. I think I'll go ahead, take this, move out of the 3rd round. There's still going to be some talent there in the 4th round, 5th rounds, and so I think I will go ahead and I think I'll accept that one. So, all right, so I accepted that one, guys. So that's going to move me back some more. We'll see who's left, though. We'll see who's left. But obviously that's going to knock us out of the 3rd round. But we did pick up some extra picks here, so we'll just see how we're going to utilize those draft picks coming up. And so we have another incoming trade here. And so, matter of fact, we will accept this one. We'll accept the Patriots want to send us a 4th and a 5th. Sure, we'll move back a couple spots for an extra pick. So let's get this started. A lot of trades here took place, so I like to stock up on draft picks. All right, so again, so far, Drake London, that was a great pick, I feel, right there for the Saints. Malik Willis, I did that because there was no offensive tackle that I wanted to take at that spot, so I went ahead and did that. And Devontae Wright, he was one of those situations where I felt like it was a great player that was on the board there, D-line. We know how important that is for that defense, and so I feel like that was a good move there, but ultimately, at some point, we're going to have to get an offensive lineman at some point. And just looking here, because I really don't want to reach, guys. Let's see. Offensive tackle, guard. All right, so this is just going to have to be something that we attack in the later rounds, it seems like. But currently, right now, though, we could go linebacker here, honestly. And so, there's quite a few linebackers that we could go. But I'm going to go Damon Clark. I was considering possibly going edge right here, but I'll go linebacker. I'll go Damone Clark out of LSU. So that is my pick right there. All right, so we've got another trade offer here. Yeah, we're declining these trades. All right, so, and just to give the quick scouting report on Damone Clark. So he's about 6'3", 245 pounds, almost 22 years old. They say he had a late career breakout as a senior in 2021 at LSU. After getting benched towards the end of 2020, he came back with a vengeance and missed only 8 of his 131 tackle attempts in 2021. So that means just missing 8 out of 131 tackle attempts. So that's a good pick right there. All right, so here we go, guys. 4th round right here. So where we are currently right now, looking at the board, there's a lot of running backs up here. Matter of fact, they've got so many running backs up here. They've got Zamir Wright listed twice up here. So that just lets you know what I'm working with right now, guys. But running back is not going to be the move for me, though. It's not going to be the move for me here. I am going to go ahead and draft a cornerback. We're going to go ahead and get cornerback Akilib Evans. I think I said his name there. Yeah. So that's what we went there. And that is the remainder of that fourth round. So we went ahead and got a cornerback in that situation there, guys. And so we'll go ahead and get the next round started. So here we are, round 5, and we still haven't been able to draft a lineman. I'm just not going to push it more than it needs to be. I mean, I know it's a need, but I'm not going to like stretch when it comes to a pick here. But I feel like we're at the point here where it's got to make sense now to go after one. All right, so I am on the clock, guys. So, all right, so we'll be picking again sometime soon. So we've got a couple ways that we can go right now. So I'm thinking it might be the perfect time to go ahead and get a second receiver here. So I know we drafted one in the first round, but now might be a good time to get possibly another one. Just looking at how the board's shaping up right now, that may be a good route to go. We could go edge now. We could go edge. I'm thinking about it. We very well could go edge. I'm thinking we'll probably go receiver now. Next time, go edge because we're going to be picking it in about 3 picks anyways. So let me just determine which receiver we're going to go for. Now, do we go for Britton Cory out of Utah, or do we go for Eric Kema out of Texas Tech? I mean, we might even consider Kevin Austin Jr. out of Notre Dame, honestly. So those are the 3 receivers that we are looking at currently. So let's see what Pro Football Focus has to say about these guys. All right, so let's see. Kevin Austin Jr. at 6'2", 215 pounds. They gave him a grade of 72.4 last season as a senior. Let's see. What about Britton? Okay, so hold on a second. Gonna take a deeper dive into this thing. I'm going to have to do a little research for these guys. Want to make sure I get the right pick that's the best fit for the Saints as opposed to just the better receiver. All right, so looking at Corvée scouting report right now, and all right, so Cory Bay is a wide receiver / return specialist. You know, we love those combinations. He's about 5'8", 170 pounds. They say during his senior season at Utah, he caught 52 passes for 514 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let's see, do they say anything about it? They say his strength is that he has elite speed, outstanding cutting ability, and does a great job catching the ball in traffic. Although he's undersized, he's tough and uses his quickness to get off the line of scrimmage. In addition, the receiver is outstanding in the return game, and teams are absolutely playing with fire and choosing to kick the ball in his direction. And so, you know, that may be a very good pickup right here. We already went and got our big and tall guys. So you get a guy like this that's electric that can come in here. I like that. I like that. So we went ahead and got another receiver. So now I'm feeling really good about this. I'm feeling really good about wide receiver. But now we have a chance here to go ahead and get us someone here that's going to come in here. We can either go edge or we can go guard here. So I'm thinking that we're going to go ahead and let me just see where we are. Tackle-wise, doesn't make any sense to get a tackle. But looking at guard-wise, I mean, we could go that route or we could go Alex Wright. So for me, it's down to either Alex Wright out of UAB or it's Chris Paul, nice name there, out of Tulsa. So those are the 2 that I'm considering at this spot right now. And so let me just take a look and see what's there at tight. Yep, they're definitely not doing that. All right, so let's take a look first at Alex Wright out of UAB. Probably going to end up going guard here, most likely, and just hope that Alex Wright will still be up there. I think I'll go ahead and go guard here, but let me just look real quick and see what good old Chris Paul scouting report says real quick. All right, so what is this? All right, so he was a 4-year starter for Tulsa's offensive line, which is outstanding. 4-year starter. Let's see what else is relevant. He excels in the run game, where his hands allow him to control reps. He does well to get his frame positioned to seal lanes. In pass protection, Paul is flashy, but his tendency to overset and soften rush angles for his opponent must be corrected if he is tasked with playing on an island in the NFL. And so they say Paul will turn 24 during his rookie season in the NFL. They think that he can provide depth with some positional flexibility. He has modest intrigue to develop into a reliable starter by year 2 or 3. So this is more of a developmental type of guard right here. So, how do I feel about that? I mean, he's solid in the run game. And for the Saints, Alvin Kamara, that makes sense. But we're trying to get some help, someone that can come in and protect Jameis Winston here, so he doesn't end up like what happened last year. So let's see. Alex Wright. I'll take a look at Alex Wright's scouting report real quick, and then I'll make my decision. All right, so Alex Wright. All right, so about 6'5", 271 pounds, massive build, has the length and thickness to be an easy every down player. Powerful hands, gets easy extension when he strikes through offensive linemen. Good lower body strength, observes and withstands contact well, gets off. Great get off, flies off the ball, especially from a stand-up position. Surprising ankle flexibility for someone his size, can ride in his body. I mean, I'm liking this. Now, some of the negatives, they say, is that pass rush plan is uninspiring, often resorts to just attacking the outside shoulder with wild hands, ducks his head upon contact, especially in the run game. And so, let's see. Below average agility in space. Not the worst considering his size, but not a strength for him. Okay, so they say he's an incomplete prospect, but it's tough to find edge players with his combination of size and strength. I mean, 6'7", 270 pounds. That's big. That's a big guy right there. That's a man. We do have another 5th round pick. However, it's at the very end. So if I have to choose between these two, I could go guard here. I feel like there's another guard that's going to be coming up here, but in terms of edge, like, I'll go ahead and take Alex Wright. He's got that potential in the 5th round. He has that potential. I would love to still get Chris Paul there if he's on the board, but I doubt he will be by the time we pick. Let's just see how things play out. So, I mean, if he is on the board, though, that would be nice. In the moment I say that, he's off the board. So he's off the board there, but all is not lost there because we do have Logan Bruss there out of Wisconsin. And you know Wisconsin with those run blocking. And so we'll go ahead and take Logan Bruss here at guard. So we got a guard. All right, so still want to get a tackle. Definitely would have needed to get that again. I was going to get a tackle in the 1st round, guys, but it just didn't play out that way. The tackles that were on the board, it just wasn't meant to be. We finally get an offensive lineman here. All right, so we're going to start the 6th round. All right, so let's see. Might end up taking a tight end as well if we can get a good tight end on that board. Let's see. So James Mitchell from Virginia Tech is an option that we could very well take here. There's a lot of running backs on the board. A lot of running backs on the board here, guys. I like Kyron Williams, though. I do like him. But do I like him enough to take him now? I'll probably go ahead and just get my tight end right now. I'm going to take James Mitchell, guys. So take tight end James Mitchell. But yeah, there's a lot of running backs that was up there. All right, we are on the clock. And so, just looking at some of our picks already, we got a corner in the fourth. So good. Obviously, if we can get another tackle, that's ideal here. And so just looking at what do we got left at safety here in the sixth round? So, I may go safety right now, actually. Get this kid from Toledo. So I may go here. 1 o'clock again. All right. So I can go offensive tackle. Andrew Stubber out of Michigan. I believe he's the best available OT, so we'll take him. We will draft him. And so, guys, it took to the sixth round to be able to get me an offensive tackle, guys. And so it should not have taken that long. Like the Saints should not take that long in real life to do that. All right, so we're back on the clock right now. We've taken 2 receivers. We're not going to take another one here. But what we will double down on is, I could go cornerback here. I could go cornerback. I'm debating, should I go corner or get another? I'll go. Yeah, I'm not drafting 2 tight ends. That's just not happening. So we will go cornerback. So we got 2 cornerbacks here. And so from here on, I mean, in this 7th round, if we can go ahead and get us another edge or something like that, that would be fantastic. All right, so let's start this one. Looking at Isaiah Chambers here, and he's gone. Just like that. Ooh, don't do it. Don't do it. I had no idea that Jake Ferguson was still on the board. My guy in the 7th. Wow. All right, so looking at how things are playing out now, once it's our pick. And so all right, so that is okay, so that was our pick right there. So all right, so yeah, that concluded. Okay, so our last pick. So I mean, looking at how things played, I mean, starting off now, like it just came down to, honestly, I was gonna go receiver in the first round regardless. And so Drake London, that happened to be there. But in the 19th pick, though, like offensive, you can see, I'll go ahead and go through how this played out. Charles Cross, the Eagles took him here in this mock draft with the 15th pick. So therefore, I was not able to draft him at 16, as I was going to draft either him at 16 to ensure that we got the offensive tackle that we needed. And because of that, I was not able to get an offensive tackle until the late in the 6th round, because quite frankly, I was not going to reach on a guy that I felt like wasn't, worthy of being a first round pick. That being said, though, Malik Willis, this was one of those picks where I feel like they certainly can use a quarterback of the future. Jameis Winston's going to be quarterback year 1, maybe even year 2. But this gives you a quarterback of the future right here in Malik Willis. I know a lot of guys are high on Malik Willis. And so in a situation like this, I would like for him to be a Saint, either a Saint or a Steeler. So this time it just happened to play out that way, guys. But I honestly was trying to get an offensive tackle there at 19. And then at this round, the 2nd round, just looking at what was on the board in that 2nd round. And so Devontae Wyatt made the most sense there at D lineman. Then we had Desmond Clark at linebacker. Damone Clark. And then we had a Caleb Evans at cornerback out of Missouri. Matter of fact, we doubled down on cornerbacks in this draft as well, taking the Mari Mathis with our final pick. Off of edge now, with the edge getting Alex Wright there. That's a big body right there. Big body right there, and someone that's going to come in there with some potential, but he's going to be coached. But being around the Saints defensive lineman there, that has some potential to be a good pick as well. We picked up another tight end in James Mitchell out of Virginia Tech. And so there were some picks there. There were some things that probably could have played out differently. But honestly, we just went off of how the board went that time, guys. And so that's what dictated a lot of things right there. Even at 19, I didn't even have the option to take to go edge right there with George Karlaftis out of Purdue. Couldn't even take that right because the Eagles, they took both of the picks that I was going to potentially consider. And so Malik Willis, it just happened to play out that way, guys. But let me know your thoughts there, in terms of obviously how the board played out and what, could have been differently there and what you did like about it as well. And do you think the Saints should draft Malik Willis in this year's draft? If not, who do you guys have them drafting in this year's draft, guys? Again, thank you so much for watching this mock draft. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you so much for being a part of this, and see you guys next video.